industry is my circus. I know that it hurts. Just sit back and take pain like I used to. And I'm trying to stop cursing, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna curse you with lyrical voodoo. I'm the ringleader, man. You can't understand the shit that comes out of my head. But you like all that whackness, loving all that whack shit. I'd rather just say fuck you instead. The ringleader, man. This is my circus. I'm working. I can flip this whole day with one hand. The ringleader, man. I know it's a fact that you'd rather just have some of me instead. The ringleader, man. The ringleader, man.
Let's do a mic check. Who's with me? Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you are here. Mic check. Short show today. I don't have much. I'm still working. I'm still on the clock, so to speak. Let me get the microphone set up right. I need your help. Let me know if I'm here. Let me know if we sound okay. Getting the camera set right. Let me know if you can hear me. Black Lion, what's good, brother? We good? Thank you. Appreciate it. I know you wouldn't lie to me. Now, I can't count on all of them, but I know you ain't gonna lie to me, brother. Oh man, where do I start? Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Auntie. She said Mike sounds nice. I'm gonna stop calling you Auntie because y'all be on here going at it, sidebarring over here. You're gonna make me go upside somebody's head, Auntie. How I sound calling you Auntie and y'all in here disrespecting one another, capping and all that. And I know y'all just having fun, but you know how it is. You can't let nobody talk about your people. That wouldn't be manly of me. You know what I mean? Even though you my play Auntie, I don't go for that talk about my people shit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I know y'all, you like to start shit too. So, you know, I mean, don't send me on no, don't send me on no suicide missions, Auntie. What's good with everybody today, man? I hear it's raining in Cincinnati, gloomy. It's damn near 80 degrees here, if not 80, probably 80. I can look it up. But I'm you know what? Shit. Family, I need something. You know what I mean? I need something. I need something to get me in the mood. I need something. You feel me? Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not here today. I've been on the phone. It feel like I have a phone stuck on the side of my neck. Oh, do I? Someone said I have the wrong date and time and stuff on my heading. Let me see if I can go in there and change that. I need something to get me going. Let's see if I can find something. Yeah, help me out. Let me know what you think I should do. I need something to get me going. Donna said no phones today. Nah, we could call. That might help. That might help me get started. Just be honest and tell the person that you don't want to call. Say no calls from that individual. You know what I mean? I don't know. Somebody put it up there. Let me know. What is it I can do to get in the mood? I'm just not here today, guys. I'm not here. Ra says, Smoke a spliff, Wyatt. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. I don't. I just. I don't know. I don't know. I need some help here, guys. Let me know. I'm searching the catalog right now. Let me see if I have something that I can pull up here real fast and get me going. I just don't. I don't have it today. I don't have it today. Plus, this gives some time for some people to come in here. This might be a good day for somebody to attack me. This might be a great day. When my energy level is down and you can't get the best of me. You know what I mean? Who said that? Who said that? Let me see something. Let me see. I don't know if I have that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I tell you what, let's do what you just said. Let's go with who said that? Who said that? Carolyn? Let's get it.
I go on and on, can't understand how I last so long. I must have superpowers, rap 225,000 hours. Get a calculator, do the math. I made 1,000 songs that made you move, yeah. And for the last 300 months, I made 16 albums with me on the front, and they bump. Where you get your beats? I heard 93 rappers say like me. 2 singers and 10 comedians, and I'm still gonna yell it every time you see me in. What's my favorite word? Why they gotta say it like short? You know they can't play on my court, can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow it. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Where you get that from? Grab a mic, spit one. Let me hit that MC 8-ball and MJG. Keep spitting that P to the IMP. Bun B, that's Texas, baby. Ballin' G, that's Memphis, baby. Short dog, that's Oakland, baby. Ain't nothing but pimpin' these days, G. My nigga C got locked up, but these real still know they got to give a what you say. Short dog with UGK. Do you really wanna be like me? Spit game like Snoop and TIP. Pretty girls in the VIP, they came with Dre. They don't need ID. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow it. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Your mind is gone, your brain is glazed. You've been wide awake for the last 3 days. Popping, it goes down for real. Don't stop, just keep rolling downhill. Crash and burn, can't stand, fall back. You're doing too much, you can't handle all that. Man, it's been way too long. Time to let the whole world play your songs. Like me, my gets around. Leave the country, come back and hit the town. I'm in Miami, New York, and ATL. Houston and LA, ask Dave Chappelle about my rich. He got it from me and made $50 million. I'm proud of you, D. But I'm crazy, you don't wanna be like me. I come from East Oakland where the youngsters get hypey. Blow it. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow it. Blow Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Too short. Up all night, baby. Album number 16. Y'all can't do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm there. I love this song, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm there. I don't think I'm there. I love the song, but it just didn't inspire me. It just didn't inspire me. It didn't inspire me. I got to hear some hip hop.
Don't get too full because you might get shot.
Cross some tricky business. Cross some tricky business.
Don't get too full because you might get shot. Because you might get shot. Don't get too full because you might get shot. Don't get too full because you might get shot.
Trying to answer to the master or the empty rap gardens. No joke on the lyric, sorry to be modest. I knew I was the man with the master plan to make you wiggle and jiggle like gelatin. Just think while I sing and to the bring structure.
I'm just playing.
Something might rupture. It don't take time for me.
I'm just playing. That is my cut, though. I didn't really like EPMD when they first came out. It's too lazy. It's too slow. You fall asleep on shit like that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I used to fall asleep on EPMD. It took me a minute to get into their cuts. I love the EPMD music, EPMD, but that wasn't it. What y'all think about this one right here? Check this out.
Hey, this is Skira. Welcome to the celebration. You brothers and sisters have finally reached the pinnacle of funk. But before I proceed, I need to hit a funk out. The funk, the whole funk, and nothing but the funk. You should all be baptized in the funk.
Baptized in the funk.
Yeah. So funky vibe. So let's take a ride with the breath. Tap on that ass. Open up your doors, let the funk flow in from this homie Jay and his newfound friend.
I'm hitting switches like Eric on the solo creek for yo G. It's the BRAT.
Putting a dip in your hip from right to left.
And on top of all that, I'm so
Boy,
down.
yo, that's my clique.
Hey homie, that's who I rose with, and we kicks nothing but the fattest.
Them calls me the funkified, funkalistic, vocalistic that they ain't ready for, but they just don't hear me though.
Because we're so funkified.
We make it move from side to side.
We're coming straight from the 606 boat is the Brett and JD. Big baby, so lay back and listen as I catch up on my pimpin' and freak this duet just like Ashford and Simpson, cause I'm putting it down ain't a thing to me, and ain't too many hoes that can hang with me. It's like that, and as a matter of fact, when it comes to the brat tat tat tat, I make your neck snap back. Meaning I got the hit that'll get you bent. Tear the roof off this mother like Parliament. I'm on a rolling control like Janet. Damn it,
Brat, you're the funk bandit and they can't handle it.
keep hitting them with this grammar, letting all y'all know that I'm the real mamma jammer. Straight to the head like a chronic sack.
I pass the mic to the bread.
And yo, I passed it back.
Well, sisters and fellas, it's time to get your groove on. I provide the funkified sounds that make you move home.
Breaking these fools off proper like
It's SOSODEF dynamite.
coming up at you like Ralph K. And since this ain't no honeymoon, I'm here to stay.
And the way we're coming at you, baby, we can't miss.
There's a new tag team in town.
Who that is?
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit more. I'm ready. I'm sorry. I'm ready. I'm here. Let me zoom it up a little bit. Let's get into it a little bit. Let's go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Wyatt Live. I know it's been about 20 minutes now, and I've just been sitting here. I just can't get into it. I just can't get into it. I got so much on my mind. I got a lot that I could talk about. Yesterday I spoke on Jamar Chase, and he spit on somebody. They say he spit on somebody. I'm gonna be honest with y'all and tell you I don't think he spit on the guy. I watched the video. I told y'all yesterday that everybody was reporting that Jamar Chase actually spit on this dude. I don't think he spit on him. I can guarantee you right now, this is gonna sound a little gross. If you're eating lunch right now, I apologize. But the NFL field has tons of spit all over it. Okay, because them guys spit, they do all that right out on the field. It's a hard sport. It's a hard sport. And they spit, they throw up, they do a lot of stuff out there. Jamar Chase, he definitely spit, but I don't think he spat on him. I think he spat in his direction. That's it. I'm not taking up for Jamar Chase. I told y'all yesterday it was a sucker move if he spit on the guy. I don't think he spat on him, okay? I think he spat in his direction, and dude just was looking for a reason to put hands on him. That's just my opinion. Whatever your video is saying, it might be showing something different, might be saying something different. I see something a little bit different. Those guys are out there spitting all over that field. You feel me? And it just so happens that if you in the direction where I spit and you and I been getting into it the whole game, yeah, you just looking for a reason to put your hands on me. And you thought the little spitting thing was going to be it. And now don't get it twisted. I understand. You spit on me, we fighting. Matter of fact, if you spit in my direction, it all depends on if I had to move. If it missed me because I got out of the way, you might as well just go ahead and spit on me, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, try again, because I'm coming at you. That's just how it go, man to man. But now yesterday I posed a question. I don't think I'm going to pose a question today. It was killing me not to tell y'all my little story. Remember when I was like, look, first one tell me. First one come up and say they want to hear the story. I don't want to hear the story. That's what I'll ride with. And I think it was David Herring who was like, nah, I'll save that story. Well, damn it, I'm saving it for today. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I will say I honor what I said. And I said, well, if you don't want me to say it, or if you don't want me to talk about it, I won't talk about it. But yeah, exactly. EB, Edward Bentley, he said, I think he spat to the ground. That's why he's appealing. That's exactly what he's doing. If I had to spit on in his chest, I would appeal $488,000 plus $50,000 bonus for playing the game. $500,000. I'm going down with my lie. Wasn't me. They AI'd that shit. That wasn't even me out there for real. I was on the bench chilling. I had a Gatorade and everything. I was talking to the towel boy. We was kicking it. I wasn't out there, coach. I wasn't out there, NFL. I don't care if I hit him right in the chest with the spit. For $500,000, I'm going down with mine. I'm not going to admit to it. I'm going to appeal it and see what they come up with. And if they tell me I lose, well, it was worth the shot. You know, it's like when you know somebody murdered somebody and everybody be like, the murder is on film. And then you get in front of your defense attorney. I mean, your defense attorney and yourself get out in front of in the courtroom and plead not guilty when everybody clearly see you committed a crime. It's just part of the process. You killed that boy and everybody seen you kill him in broad daylight with no ski mask on. You committed the murder and you got the nerve to go up there and say not guilty. That would be me if I was Jamar Chase for the $500,000. He get crazy money. Every Monday, that man get probably direct deposit over $500,000. Not to mention like a $10 million advance when he signed his contract. So you got $10 million in the bank just for signing a $550,000 a week check that you're getting every week. Now, so I'm gonna say he ain't missing that money. That ain't no money. $500,000 ain't money. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care who you are in life. $500,000 is $500,000. There's not a rich person in this world that would say $500,000 is no money. The only person that'll say $500,000 is not a lot of money is probably somebody that don't have $500,000 and probably who has never had $500,000. It's funny how non-millionaires always talking and counting other people's money, and they think that some shit is short. Like everything's short. That old short ass money, that old short ass shit. You talking like it's one of your little $12 losses that you taking. $500,000 is a lot of money to anybody. Anybody. And it killed me when the people who ain't never had $500,000 gonna sit there and talk about, oh man, he got that. He got 10 in the bank. He got 10 million in the bank. He got this. He got that. $500,000 is a lot of money to everybody. I don't care who you are. And you ain't heard a rich person say that it ain't no money. You ain't heard that. You could do a lot with $500,000. You know what I mean? You could do a lot. That all being said, I hear you, Michelle Hardy said, deny. I wouldn't deny that I spat. I wouldn't deny that I spit. Yeah, I spit. I spat right there. He was standing right there. I spat right there. He was on the 40-yard line, and I spit on the 40 and a half. He just happened to be in the way. Y'all see how they was doing. Y'all see how how they was beating me up and pushing me around, hitting me before I had the ball, hitting me once I missed the pass. They was out there beating my ass. Boxers spit in the ring all the time. I ain't never heard nobody say, oh, he spit on me. No, they spit in the ring. Lots of spit in that ring. Water, saliva, a lot of spit in that ring. So if I'm Chase, I'm saying the same thing. It ain't like that week that I think it was the Dallas Cowboys played the Philadelphia Eagles, and the guy at the pregame warm-up, they hadn't even kicked the ball off yet. And I don't think so. They hadn't played one offensive series or one defensive series yet. And the guy from Philadelphia spit on the dude. And he got suspended. He got thrown out of the game right away. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, it wasn't that type of spit. It was one of them, you in the way. Maybe the wind. Y'all know the wind was blowing. See, my game would be, my finesse game of this shit. Let me handle, somebody just tag Jamar Chase. Tell him I'll handle his appeal. I'll tell him for free. I'll handle his appeal for free. Because here's my argument. Did y'all see how the wind was shifting down there that day? Did you see how the wind was blowing? You ain't know if the kickers was going to make 40 yarders. You ain't know if the extra points was going to go in. I got you, Chase. I got you, Jamar. You spit that way. That shit just happened to hook slide. You know how they used to do the hook slide shit. You know, I just spat in the wind, Your Honor. And, you know, it just so happens to come over to the same dude that's been punching me in the back of the head and doing all this shit. Y'all ain't calling no flag. Y'all not throwing flags and all that old shit. So I was a little beat up. I was a little dehydrated. I had to come up and get some oxygen, and I spat over there, and the wind blew it. You see how the winds was right 15 miles an hour that day. Hell yeah. I spat. You seen how they was hitting me. I had 2 catches. My day was slow. That would be my argument. That would be my argument. The wind carried it towards him. Y'all know that's a legit argument. The wind was blowing that day. What's that? Fame said, I'd imagine Chase can do something. Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. He said, I'd imagine Chase can do something useful with that 500 grand. I'm sure he could. If not, his daddy, you see his daddy down there. Shit, you think his daddy ain't gonna let no money get out? You know what I'm saying? Anytime you got a father down there wearing some Spalding shoes and shit and a towel in his back pocket, he on the case. My bad. Look, I seen a video of Jamar Chase sitting in the box, right? And I'm talking about upstairs in the box, and he was with some other Bengal fans and shit, and he was up there clowning. He was clowning. He was talking shit. He's a regular dude. I bet you he from Stanley Row. Jamar Chase daddy is all the way live. He was capping. He was pimping out. You know, like he had that walk. He was talking shit during the game. He act like a dude he really didn't act like he had a son on the field. He was acting more like a fan who just hit the lottery who can now afford a suite. I'm being honest. He doesn't act like a professional football player, a star player's father. I mean, I see high school daddies that act better than that. You know what I'm saying? Not capping on people and saying shit like, you know, he was wild, bro. But he's funny. I would love to sit around that guy. Jamar Chase daddy is live. I'm telling y'all. If you ever get a chance, try to look up a video on YouTube. I don't know where it is. Let's see. Let's see here. Fame said 3. What does that mean? Is that 3 what? 3 miles an hour? Is that how? No, the wind was blowing faster than that. I don't know what he meant by 3. I don't know what he meant. All right, so look, let me tell y'all something. Speaking of spitting, all right. Justin Sharp, what's up, brother? I forgot you was a Bears fan in a bit. I don't know why y'all showing up all of a sudden because y'all doing a little bit better than you normally doing. I get it. I get it. Funny thing is, hey, Jay, I watched the 85, and if Twin is here, I'm going to get him all gassed up. But because I'm about to say something about his Bears, but it's not even the bad. Twin was probably a baby when the 85 Bears was really doing their thing. But I watched the documentary last night in the middle of the night. I was still working, and I had the TV on. I was in my office here at the house, and I was watching the 85 Bears. Okay, it's the 30 for 30 on ESPN. And yeah, I am DH. I'm gonna tell that story. Wait a minute, let me read this one for Fame said. I'm gonna love the comments today. Fame said, "Damn, Wyatt, boy has a dad in his life, and you mad that his dad is uncouth. He from the South. What you thought he was gonna be? I think he's a fun father. Yeah, he a turn up father, but he don't act like he got a son, an NFL star, an elite football player. This dude, you would have fun with him, Fame. I'm telling you, he's a fan. He's not a representative. He's a fan. All right. So I think if you misunderstood what I was saying, I would love to sit down and chill and watch a game with him, but you're not going to chill. It's a turn up. He capping. He doing a lot of shit. He doing a lot, but I like it. It ain't got nothing to do with no daddy in his life and all that. Hold on, Fame. You said something, and I just got an alert on my phone. The St. X Bomber Elder football game, Division I, will be at Paycor Stadium. That game sold out so fast. How could they not do that? They sold 6,000 tickets in less than 30 minutes. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't even know that St. X Elder was big like that still. I mean, I know that it's a crosstown type of a thing. I get that, but I really didn't know that Elder and St. X was filling seats like that. I know it's a crosstown thing. I know it's been things since Princeton Moeller. Princeton Moeller used to go at it like that. But 6,000, 7,000 seats in less than an hour, that's special. Shout out to Cincinnati high school football. I don't go for either one of them teams. I'd love to see Taft play in the Paycor Stadium or Withrow. Them the only schools. If you win any other school other than them two, whatever. But I wish I would have seen Taft play down there, or Withrow, or maybe I ain't gonna lie. I got a couple other schools that I can rock with out of the area. But I'll keep it to myself. But it's all good. Listen, let me tell you about this spitting thing. I got a story. DH told me not to say it, but I got to tell it. I have to tell this one. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Stephen Speed said Elders undefeated. Yeah, they probably are. They probably are. I know that St. X was playing on ESPN a year or two ago, national TV games, television games. Let me tell this story so people can log off. And I got a couple clips I want to show y'all. I'm gonna wet your beak about what I want to talk about, but then I am gonna tell you my little spitting situation. You might not respect me for this, but I think some people who understand warfare will understand why I did what I did. Okay, why I chose to do what I did. Okay, years ago, I was a young man. I didn't even have children, but I was with my wife. This was probably the first year, second year that my wife and I were together as a couple, exclusive, right? I had I had just started to get to the money a little bit. So I had a pretty nice little ride. Okay. It's not about that. I just think that there was some hate going on because of that. I'm in Western Hills, up by the mall, but across the street from the little strip mall over there, there was a little place that had, I don't know what it was. It was like a Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness was not a thing back then, but it was a huge workout facility like a Planet Fitness. Anybody from the West Side, please help me out and let me know what you think it was. It was like Planet Fitness. It had a red and white logo, whatever, you know what I mean? It's one of them big ones, and a lot of people would go there, and you could see them running in the window, you know, on the treadmills, like. And a long story short, I wasn't even near Bally's. Thank you, Fame. It was probably Bally's. All right. I get over there. I'm not even going to the workout facility, but there's a strip mall. So the Bally's is connected. We'll call it Bally's just for argument's sake. The Bally's is sitting there. It's a huge building, but there's other little outlet stores, you know, like, you know, Big Lots and all that old type of shit was right there connected on the other side, but they all shared the same parking lot. So my wife and I we're not even married yet. We're in the car, and it's busy over there. So I'm waiting. I got my turn signal on. Somebody's about to pull out. I got my turn signal on, and I'm about to take that spot. Well, another car comes from the other side. I'm sure you all experienced this or have seen it happen before. Comes from the other side, and since the truck that was pulled out a way where I would have to wait for them to completely get out of the row, they felt like since they pulled out that they could pull in front of the truck and get in that parking space. That ain't how shit go. I was sitting there with my blinker on. I'm being not, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing shit the right way. Got my blinker on to turn right into the parking space. The truck pulls out. Y'all know the story. When they pull out, the other people get in there real fast, and then the truck take off, and I'm like, damn, you know, you got my spot. Well, the 20-year-old, 21-year-old Randy Wyatt, he wasn't really that type of guy to just let shit like that ride. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't gonna let that ride. So just guess what pops up out of that little raggedy ass Toyota, whatever it was. A little white girl. Bubbly little white girl. She looked, you know, got her little workout outfit on. This is when y'all first start wearing all that old tight shit to work out, so everybody will look at you. She get out with her bag, and her workout bag, and she jumps out of the car, and I couldn't pass. I had to say something. Now, I didn't have to, but I had to. So I say to her, now, you know, I was waiting. You know, I'm saying it like my mama would have said it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it respectfully, I think. I'm like, you know, I was waiting on that parking space. You ain't have to do all that, but it's all good. She said, who the fuck you think you talking to? This a little white girl. I didn't even see that coming. It wasn't even a jab. She really threw a power punch. I said, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I was being somewhat semi-nice. I said, what? My wife, my girlfriend at that time, she was like, "No, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing." I said, "What? Wait a minute. What?" I was being nice. So she said, "I don't know what you talking about. Dude. Just go on and get another spot." She said some fly shit. It kept getting fly and fly. So I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So I just get out of the car and I'm like, you ain't, I didn't get out. I opened my door, took my leg out, and I looked over the front windshield and I was like, look, you ain't have to be disrespectful and nasty and shit, but I was waiting for the parking space. And she says, you can find another fucking parking space, you fucking nigger. It wasn't like how people say it today. It wasn't it was the N-word that one kind of way. And I said, what? I said, what? Now, I'm serious, y'all. I never really wanted any type of conflict with the young lady. We were both young. We was early 20s. Even her, she looked like she might have been maybe a little bit older than me. I'm like, what? Now, y'all know how the West Side used to be. Y'all know y'all know how the West Side used to be. So I'm like, fucking nigga, what? So I said, if you see a nigga, slap a nigga. Now I know I'm wrong, but y'all know how it get heated in them battles of the word. You know what I'm saying? So I shut the door. My wife was like, oh, no, what she say? What you do? She ain't hear. So I get out of the car and I said to her, if you see a nigga, smack a nigga. And she said something, and I heard the word again. I don't even know. I'm zoned out at this point. Now I'm talking like we down the way. Like if you see a motherfucker, you slap a motherfucker that you know what I'm saying? I'm in that mode. 21, 22-year-old guy. So she said something again. I didn't even let it get all the way out. I spit at her. I tried to spit on her, but she jumped out of the way. So it didn't matter. It's the same thing. Like I told you, if you ever try to spit on me, if I jump out of the way, you might as well consider that connecting. Because now we doing what people who spit on people that disrespect. So I spit on her because I can't hit her. Yeah, that's never been in my, you know what I'm saying? So I did the worst. Now I did that because now I want smoke. I need you to put your hands on me so I can drag you. I'm not proud of it. When I spit at her, when I spit on, she said, you stay right here, you nigga, you fucking nigger. And she went right into the valleys. She said, you stay right here, you fucking nigger. And I couldn't help but stay right there. My wife, my girlfriend at that time yelling at me, come on, get in the car. It's about to be stupid. You know where we are. Nah. So, as I told you, I'm not proud of it. But now, here's how the story turns out. This is how the story turns out. This girl did exactly what I tell y'all they do from where we from. And that was, she started something, and then she went to get somebody to try to finish it. Now, let me tell you what she ended up doing. She went in there, and I waited for her to come back out. I waited. At first, I thought, oh, she just talking shit. You know how people who, yeah. She run into the Bally's or to the workout spot, and she come out with 3 big-ass white boys. And then here come a black dude right behind them. I'm talking about them pump iron-ass dudes. And I said to myself, I ain't gonna lie, damn. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't got somebody. And she told the story a whole different way to them right in front of me. She said some shit about, oh, he was just messing with me. I ain't do nothing to him and blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, man, y'all can do what y'all want to do, But she called me a nigga for nothing. I didn't call her a name. I just, I didn't call her a name. They looked at her and they said, "You did that? You called that man?" Now here come the black dude behind him. And she didn't tell them in there that she called me all these names and I was the N and all that. She didn't tell them that. So when she told them, well, he did something, he spit on me, and I said, "I spat on you because you called me an N-word. That's why I spat on you. I spit on you for that reason there. I spit at you for that. And I told you, if you see a nigga, smack a nigga." Them guys grabbed her, not grabbed her like, but they grabbed her arm, moved her out of the way, and said, "We're not cleaning up your mess. You always getting into some trouble, and then you think we're going to save you." That's how the story was. So that's the one time in my life that I had all the games and sports I've ever played, never spit on anybody. Never spit on anybody. Never really used that as a tactic. But in this particular case, after being called the N-word, I couldn't help myself. Because y'all know how it is. You know what I was thinking? I don't know if any of y'all remember this part, but remember how I think it was Kizzy. It was Kizzy and Roots when the white folks who she worked for or somebody that visited the house got a cup of coffee, and Kizzy, they were the help, they were the slaves, and Kizzy took the coffee that she made and spat in it and gave it to him, walked back out and gave it to him. That always entered my mind when I was called. If you ever call me an N-word, if a white person ever called me the N-word, they should be ready to get spat at. I'm going to spit on you, because I think that's the ultimate disrespect that you can do to somebody outside of being called the N-word and they mean it in a derogatory, nasty type of way. So that was my defense mode when somebody white, or you could be whatever color you are, if you're not black and call me that, yeah, we gonna have a problem. And that's what happened. I was 21 years old, 21, 22 years old. And that's what happens when you young and dumb. Now, if somebody called me that today, I don't know if I would necessarily do the same thing today. Not in 2025, not the age that I am, because I don't care. I don't care as much. I probably shouldn't have cared as much back then. But like I told you, it was a different temperature. It was a different time. It was a different time of my life. I was at a point in my life where, I was still a little bit in a zone of being somewhat lost, and everything that I was going through and encountering, I felt like it was kind of designed against me and all that old shit. It took me a long time to figure out other things in life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I'm not proud of that story, but that's why it's Wyatt Live, and I don't have a problem sharing some of my 40-year-old story, well, 35, 30-year-old stories. I don't have a problem sharing who I am. Maybe you'll get a better understanding of why I am the way I am and why I feel the way I feel about certain situations. Because y'all know, if it would have went a little bit different, y'all know who was going to jail in that case. See, she didn't do anything in the laws, in the law books that could get her in trouble. It would have been me that would have had handcuffs. See what I'm saying? But now if I do something to entice her to swing and hit me, everything is different then. It's a different thing at that point. So, this is one of my little situations when it came to spitting. Now, I've never had any other experiences. I've never been spat at, never been spit on, none of that. But I do know that when you spit on someone, that is like the ultimate disrespect. And it is generally it's usually calling for some type of physical action. You know what I mean? So I don't know, maybe some of y'all don't feel that way, but if you spit at me, or if you spit on me, matter of fact, there you go. Mama Birch said in HIV days, boy, yeah, it was. But let me tell you this, you can get a charge. You can get an additional charge if you are an inmate, or if you are being chased by the police, and when they catch you, you start spitting on the police. They can charge you. You know what I mean? That's a case. So, I mean, not only is it criminal, it wasn't criminal back then, but it's criminal now. But it's just something about that spit game. And that's why that young man Ramsey for the Pittsburgh Steelers That's why he went off, because he felt totally disrespected. I understand why. But if I'm Chase, I'm appealing it. I am appealing it. All right, let's move on. The phone line did ring, and I had them on hold. Feel free to call back in, whoever the caller was. It all depends on if you have a disease. If you have HIV, it could be some form of attempted murder, Donna. Yeah, we lived early Cincinnati, man. Like, what would that have been? That would have been in the 90s. It was crazy in the 90s in Cincinnati. It was so surrogate. It was like black people went here, black people went there, but white people stuck. It was so separate. It was just different back then in Cincinnati. We didn't really go to their spots. They didn't come to our spots. And if you go to their spots, you was taught not to be disrespectful. If they came to your spot, they were taught don't be disrespectful. And it was just a little bit different back then. And if somebody entered your area and was disrespectful, then it was up from there. That's just how it was. Now, I don't know how it is now. I see a lot of white kids, black kids going places, doing clubs together, doing bars together, doing all that stuff together. You know what I mean? Maybe, it's just different these days. But back in our day, we didn't have mixed. There wasn't a whole lot of mixed clubs. You had a few over in Clifton, but that was more geared towards, the college scene. What was that one club called in Clifton, right on the corner? What was that spot called? Prime Time. Been about to check. What's up with you, brother? I ain't seen you in a while. He says, that caller is twin. He about to take us to Chicago when the gang spit on people. No, but I'm going to take us to Chicago. Been about that check. Is that okay? There is a video surfacing. Let me get into what I wanted to talk about. All the people that love Primetime was hot to you, Princess Flower. Now, I know who you are. I know who Princess Flower is. One of my sandboxes. I didn't know you used to go to Primetime. Donna, you went to Primetime as well? I didn't know that. I know that brothers went to Prime. Here we are with two sisters talking about Primetime. One of them Princess Flowerfoot put Primetime was fire. And all them black dudes in there, not none of them black dudes was looking at y'all black asses. They was all in there for white girls. Y'all know it. Primetime was one of them spots where, and I didn't understand why people went there. To be honest, it's just me. Primetime was primarily brothers that ended up wanting to be with some white girls. I'm just, don't kill the messenger. Oh my God. She said, yes, I stayed in Primetime weekly. You probably didn't get anything out of Primetime. I'm sure you didn't meet your boyfriend in Primetime unless you was dating a white dude. And there were white dudes in there that was trying to get up on black girls. So maybe y'all was trying to test the market. Donna said now she's changing up. She said, never been there, just roll past all the time. All right. And the line used to be wrapped outside the building. I ain't gonna lie. I went on a New Year's Eve party one time. They convinced me to go. I was with my wife at that time. Matter of fact, we weren't married. We were just dating. It was me, her cousin, one of her cousins, and her cousin's boyfriend. We went there. Primetime was one of the reasons why I don't go to clubs. Because of course it was New Year's Eve, and back then you couldn't step on nobody's shoes and shit. People was fighting. If you step on somebody's shoes and didn't kiss their ass after you stepped on their shoes, they was ready to fight. And that happened that New Year's Eve. I just don't like going out with people that don't mind fighting. I don't really want to be bothered with that. People that just go out and don't mind fighting. Primetime had me face planted on the dance floor. Really, Carolyn? You used to be in there too? Where are all these black girls when I went there? Wasn't nothing but white girls in there hanging off on brothers. That's what I remember about it. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I remember about it, though. I'm not going to lie. Mike Ward. Mike, what's up, bro? What's up, nephew? You grown now, but you was hard-headed. Mike Ward, to tell you the stories, man, when I first start working with guys, one of the things a lot of guys didn't like dealing with me because they had to come deal with me when it came down to they had to hear that uncle talk. They had to hear, there's other things you could be doing in life. Let's use this money, let's do something different with the money. Let's build. Let's build equity. Let's build. Let's do something. Mike Ward and them was getting money. All right. He's one of them guys I can honestly say he was getting some money, but he just, he was a little stubborn. When we're younger guys, we're stubborn. And we just know better than everybody, especially when you feel you're successful at what you're doing. Success can sometimes blind common sense. And I think Mike know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you're really big at something or you're doing better than you thought you could ever do, sometimes it blinds us from what's really happening in your life. And we become captive into that lifestyle, and we don't think about the things that we could we don't think about the things that we should be doing because those aren't the things that's taught to us. And sometimes, can I give a recommendation to, I don't know, let me give a high opinion about something. Some people won't like this. They're going to think that I'm supporting or I'm advocating for criminal activity, and that's not what I'm doing. But let me tell you what throws some of our guys off. It's hard to do the right thing with money when you get it before you know what to do when it comes to the right thing. I would rather be one of those guys like I was. I knew what to do with money before I touched money. So it was more of a motivational thing for me. I learned the power and how money can change things for you before I had a dime. But if you, and I don't know if I should say this about my guy Mike. He's younger. He's younger than me, and he know what I'm telling you is the same shit I told him 25 years ago. If you don't know what to do with the money, you're gonna do what you want to do with the money. And when you do what you do with the money, chances are it's not gonna be the right thing. Okay. You have to learn what to do with money before you get the money, so you'll stay on course and do what you're supposed to do. It's too late to do the right thing once you get it, because you're too busy doing things that don't have anything to do with that path of what you should have been doing. I don't know if people understand. It's almost like going to school and being a professional, whatever it is that you are. You can't be a professional. That process of being in school, there's a lot of learning and there's a lot of preparations, so you'll be able to deal with the things when you get it. When those times happen, when that money come to you, you now are primed and prepped to be able to deal with that situation. You're maturing a little bit. Where some of us, we making $2,000-$3,000 a day and have no financial literacy, or we don't know what to do with the money. So we just start going to stores, we spending it, we doing different things that just highlight what we doing, and we're not building any equity. But now, if you understand what all that equity building is before you get the money, then you have a better understanding. You have a better chance of finding, you have a better shot at succeeding and building something for your future. I don't know if people understand that. I watch it all the time. I watch it every day. Mike Ward and them guys, they didn't like coming to my office because I had to sit them down. When you came over to sign your paperwork and do shit with me, you had to sit down. We had to have a man-to-man conversation. We had to have a conversation. That's why people trip out when they be like, "Oh man, you be getting people out of jail." Yeah, I do, but I'm picky. You know what I'm saying? I do have that aspect of my business in bonding. I do have that ability to do that. I've been, it's only 8% of my business, but it is something that I do. And I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm very choosy. I'm very picky and choosy at what I deal with. And the brothers that was getting in trouble, I would tell them like, hey. Some of them would never even deal with me again because they would be too embarrassed. They let me down because they'd be like, "Yeah, Unc, I got you. I need you to hold this for me until I get home." And I did it with the intent that they were going to do the right thing. Some of them most of them, Mike Ward tell you, most of them don't. They didn't. So that you know, when I hear people talk about my profession or one of my professions, they don't understand who I am. They don't understand what we do. I think Mike Ward will tell you, he's one of those from back in the day. Yeah, man, Unc had us sitting down talking, man, let's buy these buildings down and over the Rhine. We can get them for 25, 30,000 right now. I used to tell these guys that. There you go. He says, invest in the court system. He said, Mike said, it would do that to you only to see what it is doing. Yeah, money. Okay, I can't make that out. Mike said, every day I'll say thanks for what that conversation when I came home in 2011. I'm into some totally different things, and your conversation saved my life. I appreciate you, brother. I know what you're doing for the children these days. Those type of conversations, bro. I hope the same conversation you and I had back in those days, that's the same conversation you giving to some of the kids. You know, that's the same conversation you giving to some of the up and coming kids. You know what I mean? That'll save a few of those guys. So I hope, you know, what someone did for you, you'll return to serve. I'm sure you do, because I see you with the kids. I see you doing the little baseball thing with them. That's important. It's important that our children hear positive notes, because a lot of them don't get positive notes at home. They really don't. They don't get positive reinforcements. Some of the parents act worse than the kids. There's a video going around right now, and I'm sure a lot of you seen it, because I think right before I hit the power button, I think I seen the video in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. Have you guys seen the video of the young kids that jumped the pregnant woman who was with her kids? You can tell they all go to the same school. And at first I said, I don't really want to have anything to do with that conversation. But then I start thinking about it, and I'm saying to myself, like, this is crazy, because what group of kids feel like they can jump kids and their mother, and the mother is pregnant? Who raises a kid that would engage in jumping other kids, two little kids that you can tell weren't fighters? These kids were not fighters. They are, I don't know what kind of students they are, but they were not fighters. They had their mom and they were scared. And I found it to be a little, it was degrading. You know, we got checks and balances for everything in the world, but what I don't hear a lot of people talking about is some of the things that I've been talking about on this program for a few years now. And that is the accountability clause. And that is, you know, holding parents accountable with how they're prepared to be in school. You know, we can blame, you know, reading levels and all that stuff on the school systems that our kids are going through. But no, it's the responsibility of a parent to have their kid ready to start elementary school, preschool, daycare. And when you have children out here from the first grade, or because there was young kids, first grade all the way up to maybe the fifth grade, I would say, maybe even the sixth grade, and they feel comfortable cussing a lady out who's with her kids, clowning on her, busting her in her head, jumping on her, and she's pregnant. These little girls, because some of them were little girls, had on pink book bags. And I'm trying to figure out, who raised you? Who raised you to the point where you don't have a problem jumping somebody's mama? I've seen a lot in my life, but I've never seen what I see today. I've seen us fight. I've seen us have, I remember the days where the mama would say, if you don't fight him, then you're going to fight me. I've seen all of that. But social media, I don't know if this is the cause of why the behavior is so bad in some places, but this video is out of Chicago. And as hard as I fight for my folks in Chicago, I got to be honest and tell you that there's still some people in Chicago that just, it's hard to sit back and battle for them when you acting like this. It's hard for me to sit back and say, that this is just normal childhood kid type shit, because I've never done anything like this. We never jumped somebody's mama. And if this mother was really one of those type of mothers that was about, oh, okay, all right, let them go heads up. Y'all know there's some mamas out there. Princess Flower, one of them. Oh no, y'all it ain't about to be no jump shit out here. Pick one. You go up heads up with my baby. We've kind of from that era. I'm not saying that it's right, but it's showing the hell is better than what I'm seeing in today's society, where you have children with book bags on, running down the street, and they're jumping somebody's mama. And she's pregnant. And they're dragging her. And then the little boy, her son, got slung so hard that his face hit the concrete in the street. Who's raising these kids? Who's raising these kids? And these are the same parents that if you really wanted to try to save their child, they would be their child. They already their child's worst enemy right now. But if they ran into somebody that really wanted to change that kid's life, they would be a problem. You can't tell my kid nothing. And if it's going to be up if you touch my son. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And people like Mike Ward, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you deal. I've done it, bro. I've been in that world. I was helping and doing some things in the community here the last close to 10 years. I've been dealing with some of the, you know what I'm saying? Some of them type of challenged kids. I did the best I could. 3 of them in the penitentiary on life for murder. I guess it's easier when you bearing gifts. As long as you keep giving a kid something to make them feel like they don't want to disrespect you, that don't mean that they're not going to go out and disrespect someone else. I want to play this video. This is not normal for me. I normally don't play those type of videos, but I do want to share this one because I need y'all to see why sometimes people get, you say they just messing with us. They just whatever you say, however you want to describe how things go down. You got to pay attention to some of the things that the kids are actually doing out here. And sometimes people don't have all day to try to make an evaluation of if this is one of the kids, if this is not one of the kids. They don't have that type of time because these kids are out here and these kids are wild. But look at these group of kids jump a mother who's pregnant and then watch what they do to her kids. Check it out.
Come on, blood. Shamar looking at. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Foot. Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar looking at. Come on. Look at them ankles, blood. Shamar looking at. Junior. Bitch. Hey, foot, don't touch my brother foot.
Oh, hell no, those ankles ashy as fuck.
Look at them bitches, bad crackhead. Other bitches, Maury. Bust his ass. Oh my God,
The little kids in them, not the big kids. The big kids not touching them. I'm saying the little kids.
I was gonna smash that bitch on my brother. Damn! Crack! Damn! Hey, fool, let my homie go. Let my motherfucking homie go. Beat his ass, yo! Damn, boy! Damn! They working us! Damn! Oh my God! Dang!
Try being a school teacher and dealing with kids that come to school that act like that. Somebody tax dollars is going to support that entire lifestyle. It's some of the saddest shit I've seen in a long time, because those kids beat up somebody's mother. They slung a pregnant woman down. You know what? I think, to be honest with you, what makes it more horrific to me is that these are young kids. Oh, they don't know any better because they're young. That would be some of the excuses that I can hear now. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the consequences of what happens when you stomp or slide or beat up a pregnant woman. They don't know any better. Generally what I see when I see videos of violence, kids are taught violence. Somebody sees this at home somewhere. This is why those type of kids should not be in school with kids who don't experience that type of stuff at home. They shouldn't be mixed in with the same kids. They shouldn't be with the same kids, because you don't want to normalize this. Here this kid is videotaping the whole incident. Here's the sad thing. The punishment will never be enough for kids that are raised this way. Because our philosophy is, and I'll be honest, I am a second and sometimes third chance person. I believe in chances. I really do. I believe that you can grow to be better. I believe all of that. But I also believe that the punishment has to be the right type of punishment, or you're just going to fuel that type of lifestyle. If the punishment is not severe, a slap on the hand just makes you sometimes continue to do what you've been doing. But I can tell you right now, every kid, and I'm going to say this, and I know I'm going to get some blowback for this. Every one of the kids that threw a punch, I'm not talking about the kids that stayed around and watched. That's kind of normal. It's not normal for my children. I told my kids a long time ago, you see something going down, go the other way, because you'll be able to watch it later on social media. Go the other way. You don't even want to be you don't want to even be around, because if that girl's boyfriend or some old loked up ass dude seen his wife or his girlfriend getting beat up like that, it ain't no telling what he would have grabbed or what he would have done. You don't want to be part of any of that. So just go the other way. You'll hear about it later. You'll even be able to watch it on social media, because there was 2 or 3 people filming just this alone. Told my kids a long time ago, get out of the way of all that. But the kids that threw punches, I'll bet you any amount of money that they see them punches going on at home. I guarantee you they live in a home that's dealt with violence, chaos, disruption, and they probably carry that same attitude to school. Let me go to the phone line real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, it's Tracy. How you doing?
Hey, Tracy. How you doing, sis? Long time no talk to. How you feeling?
I'm hanging in there. I'm
How's your
making
leg?
slow progress, but it's progress. They're getting ready to transition me out of this boot and into a shoe, but that's a whole nother chapter in the book because I haven't put pressure on this foot in over a month now. So it's going to be something new to try and walk. So we'll see. I'm still on the walker, but
Okay.
yeah,
Did
slow
you,
progress, but it's progress.
sis, did you have a surgery or two?
Oh, I had a 3-hour surgery on the ankle to. I'm gonna sneak you the X-rays. Your mouth is gonna hang open because it's just my foot looks robotic now. It's just pins, plates, and needles, or pins, plates, and screws. Yeah, it's totally different.
Okay. So was the surgery a success? Have they been able to tell you that yet?
Yeah. So when I went to my second follow-up on last Thursday, he said that the bone is forming great with the assistance of, all of the hardware that I have in here. And I am now weight bearing as tolerated.
Okay.
And I do physical therapy 3 times a week. So I'm not just sitting at home, trying to get better. I am in physical therapy 3 times a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that the way you described it, I knew it was painful, and I know that.
Painful is the bill. Why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad it wasn't worse than what it was, but I looked at my insurance, $97,000 later. I'm like,
Yeah, that's hey.
yeah, I really did myself a real doozy here.
No, I mean, but I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if you've lawyered up on that, but I'm sure that there's some liability there because I hear about.
You still on that, Wyatt?
I'm still on that, sis, because I hear about people slipping and falling on Fountain Square all the time.
I didn't slip and fall. I missed the whole step. It was dark. I wasn't paying attention. I'm taking sole responsibility.
Okay.
Like Jamar Chase should have. That's another. Look, I ain't even called for none of this, Wyatt. Listen, let's stay on topic. You getting me off topic here.
Okay, my bad.
But my phone cut out on you.
Yeah, you always call me with 1 bar of battery, so go ahead.
You know what? Let me check. I got 29%, so I'm good for a minute. Listen, so I just popped in randomly and I saw these kids fighting and everything. And then I started hearing you talk about, the behavior in school. What pisses me off about this whole thing is I used to be a long-term sub in the 90s. And I was at a school, this Cincinnati Public School, that's not in existence anymore. It's Lasanaville School right there on Elbrook.
Okay.
And we had some kids in there that had some behavior issues, acted just like what we're seeing in the video today. And then where I used to get caught up at is when the principal would come with the test scores and say, you didn't get these test scores up. Why are the test scores low? Well, ma'am, because I was over here managing behavior.
Right.
And if I have to spend 6 hours managing behavior, how do I have time to teach and try and save those that want to be saved or teach those that want to be taught when I have a few, kids, a handful of kids that want to tear up the classroom?
Right.
So it was always a disruption and always a distraction to try and keep them on task, and it was just a hindrance for those that were there that really wanted to learn.
Right.
And it's the same thing going on. And the whole school fails as a result because they can't pass these tests. They can't pass kids on to the next grade, but it all starts at home.
Right.
And that just, I didn't want to, and I wasn't going to take the hit for, my test scores being low, because guess what? When I sent them down to your office, you'd send them back and just say, make them just sit there and be quiet, or make them read a book, because you didn't want your numbers to look bad with your in-school suspensions and your referrals.
Right.
So it's a constant cycle of, trying to save those who want to be saved, or try and teach those who want to teach, but you can't do both.
Right.
It's like we want to call ourselves multitaskers, but you really cannot multitask as a teacher in a classroom when you have such dysfunction and you have the smaller majority of the kids that want to learn.
I agree, sis. You know, one of the things that I think is a disservice is that when I hear about teachers who are quitting, teaching, it's usually for the same reason that you just described. A lot of them say, I can't do both. I can't discipline kids and teach them lessons and think that I'm gonna have a productive, situation here. I'm running it's an uphill battle for me. And then they don't have the support of the parents in most times, and then they don't have the support of the administration, because the administration need the teacher to act like, kind of ignore the disciplinary portion of it, like that's not a huge part of the process of learning. They want you to just tell them to sit in the corner or do something that will just settle them down, because they don't want to lose the money. They don't want to lose.
Well, there is no discipline because they'll fight you back. That's the issue. We see these videos every day. You want to discipline a kid, you want to take their phone, and you might get slapped by a student. And it's like, what the hell? No teacher should have to go to school afraid to go to school because they have some people in there who want to cut the F up every damn day.
Right. And you should, as a teacher, you should have the support of administration. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They should be like, hey, we need to move these type of kids out of here. We need to get a system that's put in place where the kids that aren't being, that aren't ready to be in this environment of learning, they need to be somewhere else. Or we need to start holding parents accountable. If you look, I hate to be that guy that keeps saying this, but we got to stop having so many parents out here that are raising kids, not really raising kids, but they're having kids and somebody else is raising them, whether it's the streets, whether it's the school system, whether it's, their best friend or uncle or cousin, somebody else. That's part of the problem. All of this disruption in our learning institutions is playing a huge part in some kids that really want to be in places, that really want to learn, and not to mention that bad kids sometimes manipulate the kids that are really there to want to learn. And no kid really wants to get picked on or be called a square or all that stuff. They don't want to be the smart kid in the classroom. You know what I mean? It's like, and then the most frustrating part about it to me, other than that, is the fact that our tax dollars go towards our schools that pay for all this nonsense. You see what I'm saying? It's our tax dollars that fund that shit. Okay, I can think of a whole lot of other things, but our tax dollars do it. And I it's one of the most frustrating things when you see, parents dumping their kids into the school system, and you want the school system to teach them everything from ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and discipline and morals and respect. And that's not where your kids are supposed to learn that type of stuff.
And don't get me wrong, Wyatt, there are a lot of reasons why kids come to school angry. They're hungry. They might have parents that are beating them. They might be molested.
Yeah.
All of that is true. But the thing is there's not enough funding put in schools so that kids can get the help that they need. I'll give you a perfect example. I had an English class, and there was a young lady who came in. She came to school late. She put her head down. She started going to sleep. I'll just give her a name. I said, Tiara, sit up. She sat up, then she put her head back down. I said 5 minutes later, Tiara, I need you to sit up and pay attention in class. She sat up for about 3 minutes. She put her head back down. I said, Tiara, let me speak to you out in the hallway. We went out in the hallway. I said, why is it that you cannot stay awake in class? Why do you keep going to sleep? She looked at me with tears in her eyes. She said, because my mama and daddy was fighting all night and I couldn't go to sleep. I said, go in there and put your head down. But every child doesn't trust.
I had to jump
a parent or their teacher to talk to them, but we still cannot allow them to come in and tear up the classroom.
Right. I mean, yeah, I feel so sorry for that little girl. Okay, I get it. But why? It's almost like anything else. Unfortunately, she's probably an innocent victim in this situation.
Yeah.
But why should 29 other kids who may be in that classroom be punished for her inequities at home? You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's a trickle down effect. I'm not saying that we do need to do something with Tiara, whatever her name, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she's wrong and we need to punish her, but I think her parents we need to get her parents some kind of way. And
good luck with that if they answer the phone, because I had many parents that wouldn't answer the phone because that was their break when their child was in school during the day. It's horrible.
I agree. I agree. I totally agree. And it seems like everybody that want to save the kids, if you have, and I'm not trying to be nasty or disrespectful for anybody's task or what they think they're doing or how they help in the process. I've experienced it myself. I've put myself in a position where I've donated money, building, helping kids get out of that environment. Unless I adopt them and bring them in my home and keep them with me 24/7 a day and put them on the school bus, prepare their lunches and meals and stuff like that, they still only going to spend so much time with me, and they have to go back to that lifestyle. If you can only give a kid an hour or two of great life, that's not enough. A consistent stability is what these kids need, not a guy or a big brother or some shit that they go see one Saturday of the month, or, you know what I'm saying? You support a gym and they go to the gym and work out 5 days, 6 days a week. They still got to go to an environment where they lay their head and hear the destruction and all that noise and all that. That overpowers the little bit of good life that you can give them. So good life has to be a consistent thing. You can't give them part-time good and think they're going to be great. They still can turn out to be products of their environment. I'm telling you, I've seen it a million times.
Yeah, well, I saw that, and then when they started beating up the lady, that just goes through me, because it's just, why are you that angry? I'm just, and I don't even know if it's anger, because it seemed like it was a joke to the kid that was filming it, but it's just, we have to do better as a community, as parents. It's just, that whole thing, it takes a village. It'll never go out of style for me, because it always has. And when your kids get grown, you just help somebody else with their kids who aren't as old as yours. That's the way I see it, and that's how I help people.
Yeah, I remember my children going to school at a young age, and there was a mandatory. I don't even want to say mandatory. It was almost expected that parents come in and work at the school. We would donate our time in the lunchroom. We would donate our time at recess. We would donate our time. Now, I understand that not all parents would be able to do that because, work schedules and things. I'm a realistic person. I know everybody can't do that, and they can't take off work and do it. They could, but it'll mess up the money. But I think people need to come to a realization of what parenting is all about. Parenting is not just making sure you get up every day and just do the necessities that just get your kid through the day.
Yep.
I would think that you as a parent want your kid to be better than you. Like, I want my kids to be better than me. And that's going to take some work. You know what I'm saying? Preparation and studying. And here's one thing, and I know this is not going to be good, sis. And I know you would check me if I'm saying some crazy shit. So I'm going to say it with you on the phone, okay? This is what burns my ass, is when I hear how smart Indian kids are and how smart Asian kids are. It burns my ass when people say that, as if we're not as smart. We are as smart. We are as smart as everyone else if you give us the same preparation that those Indians and Asian kids get.
Right.
Let me say this to you. I got a family. He's an Asian man. Him and his family just moved out of my neighborhood. And you know what they did? They put, and I want to make an announcement. I have some really nice shit for some people who may be in need. I have car seats. I have a lot of baby stuff. This family set what they wanted outside, okay? Because what they know is in our community that people will come by and get this stuff and donate it, take it to their churches and stuff like that. So I was able to, I guess I look, I don't know what I was looking like out there, but I seen some shit that looked like freaking the shopping center. You know what I'm saying? I see some really nice stuff sitting outside. So I was able to pick up like I picked up 3 baby seats. Baby seats. You know what I'm saying? Those car seats that are expensive for people who may be in need. So I was going to reach out to Rosemary's because I know that she handles, young girls who in need of assistance. So I'm going to probably reach out to her, donate these car seats. My point is this particular family that put all this stuff outside, Tracy, guess what they put outside?
What?
Baby books, instruments, a lot of, I got a violin. You feel me? In the case, the whole, now I'll show it to you tomorrow. I didn't bring it down here because I didn't think I was going to mention this, but there was a lot of stuff that you can tell that a lot of stuff was being done inside the home for their kids to be prepared for what they had outside the house going on.
Right.
Preparing them
Right.
for life. And I just think that that's the beginning stages. When you let rappers and entertainers be the role model of your kids, chances are those role models, as much as I hate to say this, chances are those role models are probably prepping your kids to be attracted to certain things out here in life, because marketing companies don't use LeBron James to sell LeBron James shoes for your benefit. You feel me?
Well, let's put a pin right there, because we gotta mandate some way that these schools that have taken art and music out of schools put it back. Because these are interests that kids have and want to go into. But when you take art and music out and barely have gym, it's like, what outlets do they have?
I agree with that.
And it's all because you want to teach a test so that we can be the best. It's like they still need an outlet. They still need to explore other options.
Well, that's powerful what you just said. You know what? That was a bar. Okay. Maybe I've never heard it like that before. But when you say teach a test, do people know what you're saying when you say that? I know exactly what you mean, and I've never heard anybody really say it like that. But
Everybody whose kid went through the system, who is at least late 40s, early 50s, and your kid doesn't take home ec, your kid doesn't. These are the programs that we had. Remember, Withrow, when we had home ec,
yeah,
we had a cosmetology in our school, we
yeah,
had a horticulture program.
yeah,
When they took all of those electives and it was like having Scarlet Oaks in your school.
right. I
When they
remember.
took all of that out and just focused after 89, maybe 1990 was the start of the Ohio proficiency test. When they made that a mandate and they started gearing the curriculum toward that test, that's what I mean. They're teaching the test.
Right. And see, that's the problem, because they all, and what that's telling you is the only thing they have in interest is to make sure you get through what they need you to get through, not what you really need. Because you don't really
Right.
need the test, but you need a skill. You need the
You don't, and
ability.
you don't even have any life skills.
Right.
That's what home ec was. You don't have any life skills. You don't have if you're not going to college, you don't have a trade. We had all of that at Withrow, and other schools had those
Hell, I
programs,
took
but they
home
took
ec.
all of that out.
I took home ec at Gamble Junior High.
Yeah, in the 7th grade. I took it at Dater.
Yeah, they had home ec back then. But my thing is, here's the question, sis, and I don't know if I had the answer. I don't know if you really had the answer. We can assume, but I'd like to know who were the decision makers that took it out of the schools. But more so than that, what was the reason they took it out? Now, we can be cynical and say because they wanted to see us fail, but you can also look at the things. I remember one of my sisters came on here and we had a long conversation. She ain't been on here since we had that conversation. I don't know if she fell out with me. I didn't fall out with her, but I don't know. But my girl Lisa called one time. We were at Withrow in a 3-bell, what do they call those?
Block class.
A block class, but it was for printing. Okay, not, like I don't know what they call printing brochures, and it was
They had data entry block too.
We were in a class together for 3 bells. All right. I didn't do well in that class because it was a clown class. We just went there to shoot the shit. Didn't, what I'm saying?
Right.
It was an easy class. Okay. And we just went in there for the credits. And to be honest with you, I don't know anybody that was in that class that went and got in that field. And when I said that to her, she kind of got a little mad at me. Sis, I ain't got nothing but love for you if you're here and listening to me. But it was a class for us to go out and see. My point is this: when they put those classes in place, are they really productive? I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying, do people just take these electives just to get that block class, have fun, get through school real easy, and then don't even seek out a job in that field? Because I sure in the hell wasn't gonna be no printer, no print shop worker, no shit. That wasn't what I was trying to do. But I learned how to do it, I guess. I didn't do good in the class. But my point is,
let me tell you something. Your transcript in high school and college is only good as your counselor and your advisor advises you. So say for example, while you're in high school and you're taking this block class and you really like print shop or whatever it is, and you want to go into that field, if your counselor doesn't steer you, say, oh, you're not going to college, well, let me show you some jobs out here, or your advisor, when you graduate doesn't set you in college, doesn't set you up with some interviews, you're just kind of a lost kid. So you need that help, again, the village, to get you where you need to go.
I agree. And I think that's a lost art as well. Now, I haven't been in high school or any of those schools in many, many years. So I don't know it, because Withrow is now called Withrow Prep
University,
College,
or
something like that.
They split. I don't know what it is now, but
that
one side is one side and one side is the other.
That could be a good thing. But my question is, did they get rid of those programs because the programs were not just too expensive, but they got rid of the programs because they didn't see any progress coming from the programs? Did they not have enough mechanics coming out of auto mechanic class? Did they not have enough people going into the field of printing? Did they not have anybody going into, did they go to cosmetology, and then the girls end up not even getting into the hair business? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you could be spending money and there's no results coming from it. And just having the program, you could say you have it, but it may just be serving, a non-purpose. I mean, if only one
I don't think it was that way. I think that they just focused again more on the academics, and they pushed those programs out to Scarlet Oaks, Diamond Oaks,
so they did
other
put
Oaks
it somewhere,
programs, and made trade schools.
Okay.
I think that's really what happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do see that there's schools like that, and I think
this call is being recorded.
I think
this call is no longer being recorded.
Oh shit, she got me on
my bad. I was taking my medicine and my face hit the thing.
You
but
just
listen,
got
Wyatt,
caught on some slick shit. You didn't say here, you got
bad,
the feds on the phone.
No, I don't. Listen, you're gonna make me forget my thoughts.
You try some old fed shit. I'm gonna send this in to
the other part of that.
I'm gonna send this in to the Department of Education and get Wyatt jammed up.
Listen, I think the other part of that is the second way, because all of this probably gets funneled down somehow from the states, right? All these bright ideas. Because the next thing they started doing was combining the junior high and the elementary schools, or the junior high with the high schools. However, they did K-6 building and then 7 through 12 building. It's all about saving money. So that's the other thing that happened to save money. They started combining and consolidating these schools. Remember, like you said, you went to Gamble. We had junior high schools, and now it's like 7 to 12 and K-6. So it's all about closing buildings and saving money.
You finished? I ain't saying another motherfucking thing. You ain't getting me say nothing.
I ain't recording no more. You don't have that on your, oh, you probably got an iPhone. This Samsung thing does this little record thing, but my face hit the button. I was taking my medicine, trying to multitask. And that's what happened. But you see, I turned you off the state. It's no longer listening.
Okay, well, yeah. Next caller.
That's all I got, Wyatt. That's what I was calling to say today.
Love. I'm just messing with you. I want you to stay not on the line, but stay watching, because I'm gonna play this video. I want to know if what this lady is saying, because she's speaking about that little situation in Chicago that happened with these kids jumping that mother and her kids. She's saying,
wait, Wyatt, you had something last week you wanted to ask me about UPS. I just thought of that.
Yes. I'm gonna try to remember what I wanted. I don't think I had to ask you. Well, yeah, I did have to ask you something. Did you see that the layoffs that they're doing? I think they have a freeze going on right now, because they're going into that. I think I showed you those little robots that they have at BW3s now, and they were showing how UPS
they've started already with some of the hubs with AI.
But
I can't say too much because I don't know what's supposed to be out there. But the layoffs, they also offered buyouts. So I don't know if that 48,000, whatever it was, number is actually buyoffs combined with buyouts, combined with layoffs.
It will be. I don't think that they're going. Yeah, it's that. It's going to be a combination of the layoffs and the buyouts. If they got rid of you some kind of way, that's all those numbers are going to be. They're pretty much going to be affiliated. They're going to be the same.
Right.
But yeah, I just wanted to ask you if you've seen the automation that they were doing to the warehouses of UPS these days. And UPS, I believe, is no longer going to work as a I don't know if it was their choice or if Amazon or whoever, not Amazon, but another big box type place that they were doing business with on the side. I don't know if they're going to continue to do that anymore. I know UPS walked away from it because it wasn't worth it to them anymore. I mean, you know, they making a fraction of the money delivering somebody else's stuff, and they have, you know, they'd be better off just staying with the U.S. Postal Service because it's more profitable for them that way. Versus
a fraction of the money and the heavier packages. They ain't
Exactly.
delivering no light packages for Amazon.
No,
They delivering
you know how
furniture,
they gonna
whatever.
do it. You know they gonna send the big stuff. So you know what I mean. They gonna send that to the contractor versus their own employees because you know there's so much liability and you know medical claims and all that type of stuff come into play. So yeah, UPS is moving a little bit different now. I just don't like the animation stuff because you know there's a lot of people in our you know a lot of people who are going to be graduating and they're going to need somewhere to go, and UPS has been a great company. I worked at UPS for a week and a half.
You didn't make the cut, huh?
Oh no, I made the cut. I cut myself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's a hard ass job. I work gray belt.
It is. It is.
I respect everybody that worked at UPS, man. I don't care if you're on first shift, second shift, third shift, the fifth shift, seventh, the ninth. I don't care where you are in that UPS building. There ain't an easy job in there.
They earned every dime they made.
Every dime. And you know what? Let me say this to you. I've never met a rude UPS driver. Not one. I don't know if they get paid by how many letters you send in saying how great every Christmas I tip my UPS driver every year. And I've had the same one for about 5-6 years now. He's the same route. You know how that go. But I've never, even when I was in the retail end, the UPS driver that we had, I would always tip those guys and they make good money, but it's not about that. It's the times that sometimes they have to stand around and wait. When I was young in business, I had to run over across the street, get a money order for an order or something, you know, and they would come back and make it convenient for you. So much love to them guys, man. Much love to them.
Well, I'm going to let you play your video because it's 3:00,
okay.
But I just wanted to talk about the teachers.
All right. Hit that stop record button now for us.
Bye.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. That was Tracy Dillingham. Thanks for engaging with us. All I want to know is if this lady who I'm going to play this video on, is she lying? I shouldn't say is she lying. I should say, does she have a point? Does she have a point when she talks about the village is still here, but the parents won't allow the village to be a village? Check this out. It's a little hype. So cover, you know, if you have children around, you might want to, cover their ears or, push them out of the room for a couple minutes. Check it out.
I had to jump on here and make this video real. I had to jump on here and make this video real quick because I see the shares on my post about it no longer being a village because the parents won't allow a village to step in and rear or redirect their kids. And a few of the captions on the shares are completely wrong. And y'all are a part of the motherfucking problem. All those people who saying it ain't no village no more, you a ugly ass black ass lie. You want to know why I know it's a village? Because I'm part of it. I just tried to redirect a little boy in JJ's Fish on North Avenue in Laramie the other day. You know what that little motherfucker did? He FaceTimed his mama. Do you know what his mama said? Just get the fuck up out of there before I have to come tear that motherfucker up. Ma'am, your son already in here tearing it up. All I did was told him don't climb on the people's ATM machine. You can't say shit to y'all kids. That's the problem. All you bitches think y'all baddies. Y'all stuck in a reality loop. Y'all keep watching baddies over and over again. Why you 40 plus going to audition for baddies? Tend to your motherfucking kids. Y'all are failing your children. Like I said. In Dick's Sporting Goods not too long ago, told a little baby, tie up your shoe. You know what the mama did? That heifer turned around and said, what she say to you? Bitch, I told him tie a shoe. That's what I told him. Before he fall and bust his mouth and break them little crummy ass teeth. Like I said, Y'all are a part of the fucking problem. You don't allow the elders, myself, because I'm an elder now, to rear or redirect your children. I'm not going to hurt y'all kids. To be perfectly honest, a lot of y'all kids respect me more than they respect y'all because they see me on YouTube. Because y'all sit a fucking iPad in front of them from the time they can open their eyes until to the present date. They don't even fucking know you. They know me as they mama online. So again, to all those people out there blaming the village as a result of what them kids did to that lady and her children yesterday, you are butt fucking bogus, baby. Because there is a village still present. We aren't allowed to village the children the way we were villaged. And before I be out here fighting and hurting my knees and my hips because I'm trying to redirect somebody else's child, hey, have at it. Let CPD get them. Perfect example was Halloween. You hoes was out in Tinkerbell costumes twerking for the $1,000 reward. Didn't take none of the kids trick or treating. Some of y'all kids ain't never seen the outside of y'all community ever. Ain't never seen nothing but that community. That ain't the village fault. The village didn't do that. The village don't have you stagnant. You like where you are. You like where your children are headed, and that's fucked up. And everything not funny. That's another thing with us that I hate. Everything is not fucking funny. Nothing about this situation is laughable. Get y'all fucking kids. Women and men alike, because there's some deadbeat mamas out here too. Get y'all fucking kids. Bye.
Okay. You ever agree with someone, but then you disagree with how they present their argument? I'm kind of there. But now let me give her the benefit of the doubt. I agree with what she says. However, maybe the presentation comes from frustration. Maybe she's like how I was one time when I actually reached out to young guys that had their kids and they was acting a certain way in the mall. I told y'all those stories. I didn't act like she was acting when I was talking, and she probably didn't either when she was trying to correct one of the kids. But the frustration part comes when you're explaining the issue and the problem, and you're turned up, you're amped up because of how you have to tell the story. I would think that someone that cares so much wouldn't be so animated like she was in telling us what was going on. Okay, like I don't think that that's how I don't think all the head bottom get your motherfucking kid. I don't think that's how she was when she was trying to rescue the kids. I don't think that. I think she's just frustrated because of what we all see. And that is when you are trying to save kids in the village, the parents of those kids are probably they're definitely that's the issue. The kids would probably would listen. The problem is the mother, in her case, who's, the mother has a dumbass kid's back. Dumb behavior. They support the dumb behavior. But now, if this lady was acting like she's acting in telling this situation, you can't tell my kids shit. I understand that. If a parent was like, girl, you better back up talking all that dumb bitch shit and we twerking and all that, I get it. But I'm going to give this lady the benefit of the doubt because there's a lot of us in this chat and in this room right now that agree with everything she said. So if we agree with her, we agree with her concept, we agree with how she feels. I don't agree with her turn up. I don't agree with her turn up. Now, keep in mind, this turn up is probably not how she talked to those people because it's not what I did. I told y'all a couple times, one guy was really at my ass. He didn't want to hear what I was talking about. One dude accepted it. the conversations and how I approached those young men and how they were smoking weed with their baby 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and talking to their baby mamas rude and nasty. I didn't say, man, get your motherfucking ass together and get your shit right, motherfucking all that old shit. I didn't Land Street his ass. I didn't do that. But how amped was I when I was telling the story? Because it's frustrating. I could sit here and I could come to tears of some of the kids that I know that has so much potential who are sitting in penitentiary right now, but yet I couldn't talk to them the way I needed to talk to them because they mamas wouldn't allow it. You ain't his motherfucking daddy, Wyatt. You don't tell him how he can be moving out here. I've been cussed out by mamas before. And you know what they say? You know what I've been told to my face by people who think it's brave to just say whatever or it's up? Just because you got a couple dollars and you helping don't mean you can tell us what the fuck to do. So you think that somebody is here trying to help you in your situation and give your kid a stable place to be to try to be something in life. You think that they're donating their time and their money just to be in charge of you? Really? Oh yeah, you beyond help. I feel sorry for your child. Because you're teaching your child that. You ain't even teaching your kid how to get it. You ain't teaching your kid how to get it. You teaching your kid how it's going to be. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here today. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, Wyatt? Drop Squad 52,
Drop
also known as
Squad.
Black Not Democrat. How you
Drop
doing, sir?
Squad 52, man. Long time no hear from. Have I talked to you in 2025?
Oh, come on, man. Stop tripping.
I'm only playing. What's on your mind today, brother?
Oh, nothing, man. I was on X the other day, and I got a DM from Angela Kenny. Shout out to Angela Kenny. We go way back like Cadillac seats. Huh?
AK-47, that's what I call it.
Yeah, AK-47. So shout out to Angela Kenny. You know, Drop doing all right, just enjoying retirement.
Hey,
but Wyatt, when I turned it on, you were talking about the some kind of UPS story, how they're going to automation or something, or Amazon.
Yeah, I was talking to Tracy. I think you call her Tracy from Cincinnati. You know her on YouTube, maybe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she another one that go way back to 2017.
Yeah.
But Wyatt, I worked for the post office from 1988 to 2017.
Excuse me.
And if you remember, Amazon started off as selling books online. You remember that, right?
I do.
Okay, so the company evolved into, because they were delivering books, they switched over to delivering packages.
Okay.
And around the late 90s, when the UPS had a strike, the Postal Service took a lot of their business, and we were using the scanners. That was the beginning of the scanners.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So after that UPS strike, Amazon started to make a move in the delivery service. And it was during Barack Obama's administration. I'll never forget it. They worked out a deal with Obama to where he cut their rate for delivery, made the Postal Service turn over all of our delivery routes. I mean, everything, Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's evolved into what it is now. They are the number one deliverer of everything. And the Postal Service pretty much gave them all of the routes in the United States of America. And that's how UPS became the biggest delivery service in the world.
Okay.
And again, when I first started at the post office, they always say, oh, don't vote Republicans because Republicans going to privatize the Postal Service. Why? It happened. It happened under Barack Obama, a Democrat president, how Amazon took over the delivery service. So I just wanted to.
But wait a minute.
Sure,
wait a minute. Let me understand something because I'm a little confused. I don't think Amazon delivers packages outside of anything that they sell, though. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be wrong,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
I could
Well,
be
the
wrong, but
Postal Service,
I don't think that they do, because here's the thing though. And
well, everybody uses everybody, Wyatt. Everybody uses everybody depending on the type of delivery.
Yeah, I don't know if UPS sends packages through Amazon to do business. I think it's the other way around.
No, but Amazon in some cases will use UPS.
Absolutely. They had contracts.
But it's gotten to the point now, Wyatt, Amazon doesn't need any assistance from any other delivery service. No, because of the deal that they got with the Postal Service back in the early 2000s, you know, right around when Obama came in, 2008. That's when they really set their footprint.
What was that deal? Help me out, because I got something that I'd like to not counter, but I think I can add to it. I just want to know what was their deal?
Okay.
Do you know?
Okay, it's like I said, it's been a while.
Okay,
but what it was, because Amazon wanted to start delivering their own packages because they were using us to deliver their packages.
The U.S. Postal Service.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Right. So they wanted to deliver their own packages with their own fleet and their own deliverers, delivery personnel.
Right.
So the Postal Service, with the deal they made with the Obama administration, and of course, I don't know the details of the deal. All I know is we turned over all of our delivery routes to the Amazon coordinators. They came to our offices.
Right.
And they looked at all the delivery routes.
That makes perfect sense to me. I mean, I
Right.
believe
And
every word that you're saying.
the rate, they got charged a discount rate for the packages that we started off delivering for them. And then maybe 10 years later, they took over and they started delivering their own stuff.
Yeah. Does this make sense to you, Drop? This is why I know what you're saying is accurate, because I don't know any company that loses so much money, being Amazon Prime and all them guys. They lost so much money that they even forecasted their losses for a certain period of time. But I think they had very much confidence in where they were going. I don't think any company structures themselves to take a 5 or a 6 year loss on purpose unless they can see a guarantee at the end. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense.
Because
and
Amazon Prime was
they
losing billions. They lost like $2 or $3 billion a year because of the delivery process of what they had. Don't ask me how I know this. I got into a debate with my sister-in-law one time about funding for the U.S. Postal Service. Okay.
Right.
And it led me to do my research. And why are these companies? Amazon lost millions of dollars a quarter, up, it got to the hundreds of millions of dollars. And I never understood, why would someone, Jeff Bezos and them, be in a position? Why would they lose so much money unless they knew that there was some form of a guarantee? They had to know that UPS was going to be doing something different, that U.S. Postal Service was going to be doing something different. And they had to know that at a certain point, they were going to have some guaranteed routes or business for them to be able to recoup all their losses. You're not just better than everybody. You had to know that something was going to happen.
Okay, I'm getting ready to tell you. Okay. The reason that they were willing to lose that money in the beginning, because they knew the future of automation, Wyatt.
I get it.
Because 90% of the losses comes from human error, delivering packages to the wrong address, packages being destroyed during the delivery process. That's all because humans are handling the delivery.
I get that.
As they knew that automation was coming in, because the Postal Service transitioned into automation.
Right, which is still somewhat of a competitor, which is still a competitor, even though they may co-op with one another.
No, we're not. No,
well, not now. Not now. You're not a competitor.
No, we've never been.
You're not considered a competitor
because,
when you're
like
co-oping.
I told you, Wyatt, the Postal Service would deliver packages for FedEx, UPS, Amazon.
I understand.
We did all that, but again, the Postal Service was losing so much money. They figured they'd rather have Amazon and these other companies deliver their own packages because of automation. They could put the postage on. The Postal Service is still going to get the money for the postage. But they don't have to pay a person pension, healthcare insurance, blah, 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 blah.
They're co-oping. So my point to that is if you're losing money, excuse me, if you're losing money as the post office to who? Amazon at that time?
Yeah.
Okay, so if
we gave it to them, we handed it over to them.
Well, you probably didn't have much of a choice. You could have
Right,
kept doing
of
what
course
you
not.
There was not much of a choice there. However,
No.
if I'm a functioning business and I see somebody coming and they're cutting into my profit, I gotta say that that's a competitor. No matter how you slice it, anybody that's in my way of my profit is some way, form, shape, or whatever. They are a competitor of mine. Maybe not directly, but indirectly, they are a competitor. If they're supporting one of my competitors, they now become my competition as well. So if Amazon had, because Amazon is, I have no love for Amazon. I know a lot of people, I'm gonna get a lot of blowback for this. I have no love for Amazon because they are the new Walmart. They made it cheaper, convenient. They did everything to push every other business out. You can't open up a mom and pop shop in a neighborhood because of Amazon. It used to be because of Walmart. Amazon just made it even more treacherous. You can order something on Amazon on Monday in the morning and have it later on that afternoon. It's just that fast these days. And that is horrible for me being an entrepreneur and knowing that I love my people to be self-sufficient. This is very tough. It's horrible for small business owners. And that type of business eliminates brick and mortars all day long. And
But see Wyatt again. This country is built on capitalism, right?
Right.
And if you can get a product to a customer, or you can advertise to a customer without using a human being that you have to pay pension, health insurance, and all this other stuff.
I get it.
Okay, so
if you have to cut out a worker,
like I said, when the Postal Service started this deal with Amazon, it was on the heels of a UPS strike. And what separated UPS from the Postal Service, they had those handheld scanners.
Got you.
Right?
Faster,
which improved efficiency.
There you go. Faster,
so
efficient.
At that time, when the Postal Service took over all that UPS business, we had to come up with scanners. We didn't have them. Wyatt, we were using flip phones, and because we couldn't. Remember, it was at the beginning of the text messaging and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But eventually, the Postal Service got a scanner. And then once we got our scanners, that's when we started to move toward automating everything. Because you had to eliminate personnel.
Here's what I don't have a problem with: efficiency. I don't have a problem with that. But where there's efficiency comes job loss. Where there is technology comes job loss. And what I mean by that, and opportunity, because even places like Amazon, it's just an efficient Walmart, so to speak. It's like when you did, like, I can't compete in the space against Walmart. I can't compete in a space against Amazon. I can put the same product on my website or on my e-commerce and sell it online. And my competition is going to be Walmart.com. My competition is going to be Prime, AmazonPrime.com. Those are my competitors. And as a small business, that is going to be challenging for me because I can't compete with the big box, with the big companies. You can't compete with their numbers. Walmart even has a situation where if you become a vendor for them online, I don't know if people know this, but if you have a product that you want to sell through Walmart, they dictate how much you can sell it for, because you have to sell it for market value, like market scaled value. You see what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah.
You can't just put. I can't put this tie out there for $49.99, and then there be ties of its, ties just like it out there, and theirs are $39.99. I have to make mine price leader. I have to make it cheaper than the going tie that fits the same that fits in that same category. Right. Hold on, let me answer this. Carolyn Smith says, Randall Wyatt, I thought you were all for capitalism. I am. I'm supporting capitalism right now. I think more people should be able to do their own thing. We don't need capitalism to be taken over by big box. And no, I think that I grew up in an era where you can take your bike across the street and Mr. Johnson and them with a bike shop will put a new chain or oil your chain or fix your flat. You can't do that. We have it now where in order to get a fix of if something happens to your bike, they're cheap enough where you just buy a brand new bike. Why would I pay $70 to have my bike fixed? And I'm talking about a bicycle. Pay $70 drop to have my bike fixed, or I can get a new one for $99.
Well, that's true. But see, again, Wyatt, all of this
But
movement
yet Mr. Johnson can't sell. He can't sell a new
is
bike
for the
$99.
future. It has nothing to do with me and you. Technically, we're in the beginning stages of societal evolution. And if you look at what happened during the pandemic, it exposed how this country is so reliant on getting a product to the people. Okay, so even now, Wyatt, Walmart is starting to expand their delivery. Because right now, a lot of people don't even know that you could have free shipping with Walmart as long as your total is over $35. Not every product, but that's what Walmart is trying to do, expand their delivery because they see Amazon as a threat because Amazon is going to be delivering everything.
Right.
So Walmart is stepping up their game. And I encourage people, use Walmart delivery. $35, you can get toilet paper, detergent, those type of items delivered to your house for free.
Now, let me tell you what you just did. Can I say something to you? And I mean this respectfully, brother. You come from the shipping. You spent a lot of years. You retired from the post office. But what you just did, you just advocated to use Walmart, the big box store, for the shipping being so cheap. But you know what you also did? There's a store in the city of Cincinnati in Avondale that sells products like, grocery products and toilet paper and all that type of stuff. Those big box clubs that are conveniently delivered to you for little or nothing, a free delivery or whatever, put little companies like that out of business.
That's called societal evolution. Wyatt.
No, well, okay,
this country has always done that.
But that does not
in the name of progress.
Yeah, but that's not necessary.
Okay.
That's
everybody back in the day who used to work on the railroad, Wyatt, they found other means of income.
Yeah, but
opportunity is always going to be available to you if you're willing to make the right adjustments and changes in your life to start something different. You don't just waddle in a company that you know is not going to be around in 5 years.
No, I
Why would you stay and wait? Oh, I hope everything work out. I hope this politician do what he say he gonna. No, you see it coming. You start preparing for the transition if you want to continue to survive in this country without having to rely on government assistance. Now, the last thing before I go, Wyatt.
Go ahead, bro.
When you played that lady at the end talking about there's no more village because the parents won't allow the village to parent their children. Again, it's societal evolution. You become a product of your environment. If you're raising your kids and they're on a computer, they're in front of a TV, all they do is go to school, come home because mama got to work and blah, blah, blah. They become the product of whatever's in that limited environment. What they're watching on TV, the music they're listening to, the videos they're watching, the podcasts, all that stuff. So when they do get outside the home, they act a certain way. And some people just write it off as, oh, them kids just bad. Because if they act in this way in public, I can imagine how they act at home. So I feel for what the lady was saying, Wyatt, but if you want to be part of the village and offer assistance to some of these kids that you may think need assistance, you got to pick and choose your moments. Because if a kid is acting out in public, where do you think they got it from?
You preaching to the choir, brother.
So this lady, I think she picked two bad examples to bring into her video. Because some kid walking with their parents and their shoe untied, that ain't none of your damn business. Stay out of that. They ain't got nothing to do with the village. Okay? Because you ain't paying for her dental bill if she do fall and bust her face. Stay out of that.
I think
and at the other place, this kid is acting like this in public. He has no respect for people because that's the way he was raised in the environment he came from.
No, I agree with all of that. But I think sometimes we misdirect who really needs the lesson. And I don't think it's the kid that needs the lesson. It is the parent. That's why when I see people in the city of Cincinnati and other places, because Cincinnati's not unique. There's bad kids doing the same shit in Indianapolis. I'm talking about the same things that you hear about in Cincinnati. That stuff is going on in Columbus, Ohio. It's going on in Indianapolis. It's going on in all the places. And the reason why it's a continuous thing is because we focus in all the wrong spots of how to fix the problem. No politician really ever blames parents. They never focus on the parents because they only need the parent to vote. You understand? They don't really want to patch. They just want to put a patch over the tire. They don't really want to fix the tire at all or replace the tire. They don't want to tell the truth. So they don't want to piss the voter off. But the truth of the matter is, when I see people getting paid off of children in my city, I think it's fake fraud. It's a disservice, and it's a fake. It's a, like Twin would say, pump fake. It's a pump fake of a help, because you're not going to help a kid and you see a kid 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes. It's not going to happen like that. I think that the real help needs to go toward the parents who are raising the kids. That's where the problem is, and that's where you need to start trying to fix the problem. Giving a kid 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day is not going to correct that kid's problem.
Preach, my brother.
All right, brother. Hey, drop it. Hey. It's been real, bro. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you being here and engaging with us.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat, even my good friend, AK47. Peace out, y'all.
Same thing. Talk to you, brother. Thanks for engaging with us. Yeah, I just, I hear all this shit. We doing this for the kids and this and this and that. That's bullshit to me. I'm not trying to be that guy that's messing up nobody's money, but I understand that there's money in that type of shit for people. All right. And that's just what it is, man. You're not fixing them kids. You're not managing anything other than what you're trying to get done for yourself. That's just me. I've been part of that. And here's the difference. Find me somebody that put their own money up for that shit, and I'll show you a genuine person. You show me somebody that's putting their own money up on them issues, and I'll show you a genuine person. If I got to go to the city, if I got to go to the state, if I got to go to the government to try to put a program together for some shit, it ain't really for that. It's for me. It's because I'm trying to line up something. That's just me. I don't mean to be disrespectful or rude. That's just how I see it. I don't think anybody's nasty, rude, and all that old shit when they do it that way. That's why people away from us say that we have so many programs. Oh, they got so many programs for them people. And I don't mean black people. I mean, it happens in poor neighborhoods as well. They get pimped too. I'm just talking, it's a classism thing. This ain't got nothing to do with black people, white people. This ain't got nothing to do with this. This is people that they know what the real problem is. So I'm not really going to fix the problem. I'm going to basically pacify the problem. Meanwhile, I'm going to capitalize off the problem. Why not? And when you got to pay attention to people that don't have a problem, knowing that the problem exists, and then they find their way in it some kind of way and they capitalize on it. Those type of people, they usually are not people that's putting their own money up. You know what I'm saying? I practice what I preach. I've never started a 501c3 to be able to put in a position where I write out. And some people will say, but that's dumb, Wyatt. That's dumb. Why would you use somebody else's money? Because there's certain things that I do for profit that is capitalistic. You want to be okay. But one thing I don't do, I've never made a dollar off of a child in Cincinnati. And anybody that want to challenge that, feel free to come in, debate me, and challenge me, show me receipts. I got receipts. I got books. I got receipts to show you. Anytime we were driven a profit out of any location or anything that we've ever done that was pertaining to kids, that money was donated to a cause, to that gym, to that Boys and Girls Club or whatever. Anytime we made money, it was given back to the organizations. But nah, everybody can't say that shit. I never took a salary. I never did any shit like that. And I'm not saying that, I'm just being honest with you. I just have me personally. And I think I have every right to feel that way if all I've ever done was use my own money. And I'm sorry, y'all, let me get this one from Angela Kinney before I get up out of here. I don't know who she's talking to. Looked like she was talking to Stephen Speed. She said, if the country meat company dealt with a small transportation network, they could keep those shelves stocked on their own time and schedule. I think that company has an uphill battle. It's very hard to maintain a brick and mortar right now. It's very hard. Brick and mortar companies are going through a lot right now. And it's because of who their competition is these days. All right. A lot of people will just order. Like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, my wife at one point, she hates when I talk about our shit out here, and I don't blame her. We used to have Amazon Prime boxes. It was like 2-3 boxes almost a day, if you want to average it out. 2-3 big boxes out a day. They might put little bitty, they'll ship you toilet tissue, paper towels, all this old shit. And you get it at the best price, and you'll have it, you can stock up on it. So what does that do? If Mr. Johnson owns a store that carries that stuff in my neighborhood, it's like, he doesn't stand a chance. He doesn't stand a chance. He doesn't stand a chance because, number one, now he has to compete with a price, all right, which he probably can't. He can't compete with that low price and keep his doors open. He can't sell something for $10 and Amazon is going to have it delivered at your house tomorrow and it's $8. He can't compete with that. And if he could sell it for $10, the same price, his profit margins are not high enough for him to sustain a staff, overhead, just running a business. So yeah, I got a problem with certain businesses monopolizing business because it shuts down a whole lot of other opportunities. That's why I didn't feel sorry for Walmart when they start losing to Amazon. I didn't feel sorry for them at all because they did it to the small businessman first. The thing that I look at now from entrepreneurship, if you want to get in, I always say this. Sometimes you gotta beat them. I mean, you gotta join them. Sometimes you just have to join them. And then once you join them, then you beat them. That's just my motto. So my point is this. If I'm Mr. Johnson and I sell toilet tissue, maybe I need to, or paper towels, maybe I need to get on with Walmart, Target, and sell my product through their pipeline. Maybe that's what I need to do. And that be it. See what I'm saying? Now I'm tied in with those guys some kind of way. And maybe I don't open up a brick and mortar, but now what does that do to my community? Now we have if all of us if we're all making our money online, not everybody can sell, we all can't do the same thing. So what does that do to the ownership part? How do we ever have any ownership in what we're doing? If all we're doing is owning shit online and not having somewhere that people can go to purchase something, be a community driven type. You got to have a community driven base. And it's all economics. It's all driven off the economy. You have to be able to have money in your community if you're going to be competitive. And I'm going to tell y'all a little short thing. I promise you, I'm about to get out of here. The only thing that's more powerful than a politician is a community that has its own economic base. If you don't believe me, look what Oakley or Hyde Park did to your Cincinnati City Council when they thought they was going to treat them like they treat people who have no ownership in the community. Did you see the difference in how they were dealt with? Did you see how they rolled back some things? They voted for one thing at City Council. The people in that community who are property tax owners have a small community, have bakeries and things like that. Did you see how they loped up and they made the City Council change things? That's what ownership does. That's the difference in ownership. That's having equity in your neighborhood because those are voters over there. Those are people that could say, all right, well, I'm going to close my shit up. I'm going to close my business up. It's going to kill this. It's going to kill that. I'm not going to vote for this person because they help choke my company. When you don't have any equity in your community, your city councils, your so-called leaders, they'll choke your neighborhood and do what's best for the city, not what's best for the people. And somebody might have that confused. Well, what's best for the city is best for the people. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Hey, that's my time. I got to go. I got a 4 o'clock today that I got to get to. Peace and love to the family. Nothing but love over here. See you guys right here, same place, same time tomorrow on Wyatt Live. I love everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Pistol, got over money, yeah. I just been sitting back, watching, taking in information, not jumping to conclusions. They try to play on our emotions so much, I like to just sit back and wait for the dots to connect. You feel me? It sucks watching people sleep. I understand now why the higher-ups call people sheep. They go where you send them. Of all the things that should offend them, they only focus on what you tell them should upset them. I remember this music exec told me the people are sheep, most of them stupid as heck. Focus on you, get a check. But I refuse to mislead people or view them as less, just to be mocked by the same people I choose to protect. It's like I'm back in the day, going against massa and getting attacked by the slaves, taking my lashes while they laughing away, cause they don't know that I was trying to free them. They played a clip for them, told them I was trying to leave them. I found out they putting poison in what they feed us. They kill us slow from the inside and make us weaker. They said he's trying to steal your food, he wants your children to starve. Then showed a picture of me burning all the shit we been eating. Cause when the truth make them shook at me, they drum up a case. If they could change how you look at me, you'll laugh while they whooping me in front of your face. The right narrative can bury who they want to erase. Remember Lauryn Hill spoke up? Crazy. Chappelle didn't want to wear a dress when he left. He was crazy. Ye was in the bed with dead celebrities calling himself Jesus. But when he met Jesus, crazy. Trump was they buddy. They all got money. Before he ran for president, these same folks loved him. I wonder what changed though. Is it cause he racist or wouldn't light the White House up like a rainbow? You don't find it funny that the same Grammys and Oscars we call racist claim to hate him because of that? A whole industry that promotes evil consistently. Now they hate evil and shame people who disagree. Some of that he bring on himself, and so do Ye though. You can't meet with him, agree with him, or say his name no. But call you a coon, Uncle Tom, and say you ain't black. You wonder why Joe Biden feel comfortable enough to say that? Isn't that the same way used to manipulate cats, calling you homophobic when you don't agree with they plans? Black folks running the same plays the gays ran, cause black lives didn't matter till we shook they hand. Then it was first gay NFL player black. Then it was first gay NBA player black. Then they had a wedding at the Grammys presented by him and a black rapper. And guess who officiated that? A black woman. They used our oppression as a tool for protection and sympathy as a weapon. Just like you. I see the dots start connecting as these fake Jews call Ye anti-Semitic. History of oppression. You can't disagree with them. Sympathy is a weapon. If you do, you mistreating them. They rip the black billionaire in front of your face to say no matter how rich you get, stay in your place. Promote sex, drugs, murder on the daily. You can kill babies. You can say a man got pregnant by a lady. The things that you can't say don't make you question why what you can say is gravy. I'm a killer. I'm a killer. One of those are wrong, one of those are cool. One of those will get a rich black man canceled. The other one will put a new Grammy on his mantle. But what do I know? I'm just a Christian rapper. Black entrepreneur, black father active. Black husband rapping like he care about a black life. Black philanthropist, water to Africa and a Flint. Black man of God with a catalog. Your children can rap along with in the car with you. And it's hard. And I ain't saying this so y'all support me. I'm just trying to show you what y'all been calling corny. People remember the narrative is imperative. What other reason would Jews flip on Jesus and choose Barabbas? We still choosing the killers over the healers, huh? We still follow whatever leaders they give us, huh? Look at the ones with the most influence. They won't go against the grain. They paid to make the grain look dope at to us. I digress, y'all. I just be over here corny, watching all the cool rappers put a dress on. I just want you to take a look at the industry. Hollywood and music, look at the symmetry. Look at what they push, look at what they claim to be about. Look how anybody in disagreement get weeded out. Think about what you and them agree about. Abortion is same sex, and one result they both bring about death. But God is life, so the plan is murder your seed to make sure it don't get planted. Where's the lie? Y'all remember God made a promise to Abraham to multiply his seed. Now look at Satan's plan. He got us brainwashed so bad, we march for the right to do it to ourselves. Look, ma, no hands. But you don't think the devil real, so you can't see it. So you never understand why they hate Jesus. Just beware of wickedness in high places, claiming they Jews, but they the synagogue of Satan. Bissell. I was on the plane the other day, and I'm watching this movie called Ocean's 8. And these ladies, they were pulling off this bank heist. And halfway through the movie, I realized I'm rooting for the bank robbers. They're the bad guys, but that's whose side I'm on in this thing. I want them to get away. And I asked myself, how is the Christian going for the bad guy in the movie? And I know you'd be like, oh, but it's just a movie. I've never watched the episode of SVU and was hoping that the pedophile got off. So what's the difference? Why is it when I watch Bad Boys, I'm going for the cops? When I watch Takers, I'm going for the robbers? Then it hit me. The director is able to present this thing in such a way that he can control which side I fall on. So my question to you is, if this director can do this with his finite brain, how much more do you think Satan is able to do if he controls the people who control the narrative? Y'all better get in that word. CNN might say one thing, Fox might say another thing, but the word of God remains the same.